All right. Been a few days. The wildness of the NBA trade deadline. I feel you. All you guys. I feel you, NBA guys. By Sunday morning, the big blockbuster. I know that people still, the effects. I went over it earlier this week. I'll tell you, I've been gambling a lot lately. I'm not going to sit here and lie about it. The Lakers were winning me money before they got Luka. Your safe bets. Bet the Lakers every night. Bet the Trailblazers every night because the Trailblazers are always the underdog, and yet they won 11 to 12, and the young talent is gelling. But that's neither here or there. Since we're at the weekend of the Super Bowl, and I'm going to get into a lot of these football rumors and stories that is going around like wildfire. But first, let's pay homage first to the N.F.L Hall of Fame committee who got it right. Okay? And I got news for the Eli Mannings and the Luke Kuechly's of the world, but I'll get to that. First, it was an honor every Sunday at the bar to watch each and every one of these four gentlemen's entire careers. I'm gonna save the best for last. I'm gonna start with Ja.Allen. In his time period as an NFL megastar, he the Chiefs gave him away back in 2003 because you know uh who's our boy Dick Vermeil didn't like his personality, was rah rah, and maybe if the Chiefs would have kept him, they would have went to the Super Bowl 22 years ago. But he got rid of him, gave him away to the Vikings, and enough said. This man in the 2000s, one of the great pass rushers to ever put on a pair of cleats. And it was an honor when I found out these four made it. I just gave a standing ovation. Like the college football playoff committee, they got it right. These guys got it on point. Okay. To Ja.Allen, one of the great pass rushers of the early 21st century, definitely deserves a gold jacket. Next, E.Allen. Now, I got a little issues with Eric when he was at ESPN acting like a gopher. That said, shout out to him. Well deserved. In the 1990s, you could argue, other than Deion Sanders, one of the top five corners in the league, totally dominated his position. I remember a game against the Jets back in 1993 that this man made an interception, ran it back 85 yards for a touchdown, and I think he pulled a hamstring after the touchdown, which was amazing. And again, another awesome overdue choice to go to Canton. So congratulations, Ja.Allen and E.Allen. Now I'm gonna get a little nasty here. So you people who are listening in the clouds, get ready what I'm about to say. Antonio Gates, you can argue, was the best tight end. I mean, nothing against Kelsey. See, the problem with you millennials is that you people live for the now. You people don't really, and I'm going to rip the media, ESPN in particular, for whining and crying about Eli Manning. I'm going to get to that in a couple of minutes. Let me give these great Hall of Fame choices their day in the sun. Antonio Gates, and this is a message to the guys who didn't make it. What did the committee say? Eli, Keechley, all these guys who didn't make it, that not only was Antonio Gates between 2004 to about 2018 was the best tight end in the sport, he was the most dominant. Now, was Gates better than Zonk? If Zonk was healthy, I always say he's the best tight end I've ever seen. If you said this man was the best you ever seen, I don't have an argument with you. And for all you butthurt Travis Kelsey fans, I got news for you. He's not better than Zonk. Okay? Kelsey's great. He's not better than Zonk. And I will say he's as good as this man. But what do that tell the Adam Vinatieri's, the the Eli Mannings, the Luke Keechleys? You know what that tells you? The Hall of Fame committee felt this man was better than all of you combined. So congratulations, Antonio Gates, on your way to Canton. I think I'll sleep in this Flames jersey tonight that I'm wearing. Last but not least, and this is personal for me. In the late 1990s, early 2000s, I was at the draft for like 20 straight years in a row, in person. Madison Square Garden, the old Marriott Marquis Hotel, I was always there. I could tell you Chris Fowler was a real a-hole and I think a racist, but that's a story for another day. This man right here, Sterling Sharpe, women would pay me. Well, they would offer me money, groupies, just to, because they always saw me kicking it to them all the time, to go meet this guy. And Sterling said, I don't want none of these women near me. Sterling Sharpe, I'll get to his playing career first in a minute. Let me get to my personal engagements with this man. One of the realest black men I have ever come across in my lifetime. He knew the game, I knew the game, and when he realized, and I'm not talking about the game of football, and when I realized that when I talk to him, don't be all googly eyed and smiling. Just keep it real, like two brothers are talking shop. And that's exactly what I got with this man right away. From the second I met him and shook his hand, I was always on code with this guy when we would interact. A very class gentleman, way overdue, folks. They did not have the surgical procedures like Peyton Manning had 13 years ago. They probably even improved it even more now. If this man broke his neck, folks, that's what ended his career. This man was the most dominant receiver. I don't want to hear about Michael Irvin. This man was the most dominant receiver at the exact same time period. 30 years overdue. Should have gotten to Canton first ballot. They are the first brothers, Shannon and Sterling, both well deserved to be in Canton. And let me also say this with these youngins, when Shannon Sharpe called out Shaq a year ago, I told everybody up here Shannon Sharpe had the much better career than Shaquille O'Neal. They played the exact same time period. Sharpe was the ultimate gamer, the ultimate competitor. And I'm talking about Shannon. Okay? So I don't want to hear about Shaq and Doncic and all these clowns. Sterling Sharpe at his position. and his time frame as an NFL megastar, Hall of Famer, three-time Super Bowl champion was better than most NBA stars. It's not even close. Which leads me to his brother Sterling. Like I said, Michael Irvin, Andre Rison. I'm talking about guys back in those days. Let me see who else was back in those days. I can remember Terry Glenn, God bless his soul. T.O. None of these guys was Sterling Sharpe. None of them. Matter of fact, if you saw the I forgot the name of their show, Shannon and Ocho, but Sterling told the story when T.O. who was in town when T.O. found out Sterling Sharpe made the Hall of Fame. He broke down in tears, called him sobbing, how shocked and how I was shocked too, folks. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie to you. Eric Allen, Sterling Sharpe getting in last 2 nights ago shocked the hell out of me. Folks, I don't stay up late no more. I go to sleep I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I find out first of all I go to my FanDuel page and see that I win my bets. Because I bet money every day. That's right. I'm addicted to gambling now. And I love every effing minute. I don't need to call gambling hotline. I know how to manage myself. I used to gamble back in the 90s. I'm gambling again. When I woke up and found out that these four were the Hall of Famers, I laid in my bed laughing nonstop for 20 minutes. You know why? I was laughing at Luke Kuechly. I was laughing at Eli Manning. And I'm going to start with Eli Manning first. I've seen this man's career, folks. I live here in New York. Except for 2 years, this man was a comedy of errors. He was America's home funniest videos. And I'm not joking. There were games this man would throw 5 picks. This guy will fumble snaps that were right in his hands. When the center hiked it, it would hit him in the chest and he would fumble. And the sad part is, Eli Manning, no doubt, is a Hall of Famer. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, but not now. And then next year's class, first timers. Let me get that list real quick. And I give Reggie Wayne a lot of credit because Reggie Wayne was absolutely besides himself when he didn't get in. And folks, I got news for you. This is going to continue with the great players of the 90s who haven't been in the Hall of Fame, the early 2000s. I wouldn't be surprised if Ocho Cinco gets in the future. He deserves to. Okay? He deserves to. All right, let's take a look at this. Larry Fitzgerald is the first ballot. Drew Brees is the first ballot. Okay? And Drew Brees said the other night he's going to have a big place to throw the party. So if Drew Brees is talking big like this, what did that tell you? It should tell you that Drew Brees, Marquise Pouncey, Jesus Christ. Let me see who else is the first timer. Wow. All right, this is next year's first eligible. Marquise Pouncey, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Jason Witten. You don't think they're going to put him in over the guys who were left short? Let me see who else. I'm talking about guys who are legitimate. Philip Rivers. That will be interesting. You know why I say that? He's had the best numbers of those three quarterbacks, Eli, Ben, and Rivers. He's had the best numbers. That will be, and I don't think Philip is going to get in first time, but he is on the serious radar. Julian Edelman, Thomas Davis. You never heard of him. Don't worry about it. I would love to see Des Bryant, but that's never going to happen. Let me see who else. I'm thinking. I'm talking about guys, folks, who are legitimate. I'm not giving you hearsay. If Mike Pouncey would have won a couple of playoff games, I would be fighting for him. But he didn't do that. So there you go, folks. There goes your first timers who are known. You want to put Shady McCoy in there? He's never going to get in, but these are the first timers, folks. These are the first time guys who are very eligible for the Hall of Fame. I'm talking about the stars, folks. I'm talking Marquise Pouncey, 15 years of consistency. Drew Brees speaks for itself. Larry Fitzgerald, you can argue the best wide receiver in his generation. And that's including T.O., Reggie Wayne, uh, Torrey Holt. I'll tell you right now, Pouncey's getting in because he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. Fitzgerald is getting in. Witten is getting in. Now, Drew Brees, he's going to have a little issue with Eli because the cry is going to be for Eli next year. I don't understand why Eli didn't get it. Oh, I'm going to kill ESPN in a minute. Just give me some time. So for me, those are the locks right there. Pouncey, Fitzgerald, and Witten are locks to go again. I will bet those three will get in first ballot next year. One's a Cowboy, one's a Steeler, and Larry Fitzgerald. You can seriously argue the best receiver in his time period. You can argue that. So there you go. There you go. That's next year. Now let's get to the crybabies. ESPN. Oh, Luke Peachley, kiss my ass. Adam Vinatieri. The hell out of here. Over those four legends? Are you out of your damn mind? Those guys don't even compare. You hear me? They don't even compare to those four guys right there. All right, let's take each one at a time. Eric Allen, other than Dion, one of the five best cornerbacks in that time period in the league. In the league. I already explained Jared Allen. Once the Chiefs made that stupid move, Dick Vermeil, who didn't like him personally, he was doing. Hey, by the way, he was dominating in Kansas City. He was the only defensive player they had, and they kicked him out the door. But now the Chiefs are different. We know that, and by in the next 30 hours, they can make history. So, what's up, Bargo? Want to pull up? Pull up, Bargo. Come on. Come on up. Come on up. If the price is right. Exactly. Come on up. Now, let me tell these millennials something, okay? All these people crying over why these guys got in. Oh, I don't know why you didn't get it. I don't know why Luke Keechley. Maybe because they weren't as good as these four legendary players. You think, older millennials? Do you think? Oh my God. Sharpe, best receiver in the 90s before he broke his neck. Better than you, your boy, Michael Irvin. Better than T.O. The only receiver you could say was better was Rice. I'm not even going to argue that. Okay? Broke his neck at practice at Lambeau Field. Never the same. Had to retire. Career cut short. Sorry to disappoint you, older millennials who don't know a damn thing. You think you know, you don't know nothing. You don't know a damn thing. You keep rooting for LeBron. That's your hero. Keep rooting for him. Gates, I explained it. I'll say it again. To me, him and Rob Gronkowski was on par with each other. I will take Rob because he can block the hell out of a lineman. And, let me say something about Kelsey. Kelsey's great. Matter of fact, Kelsey will be in Canton first ballot. He got the hardware, and a younger Travis Kelsey was one of the most dominant tight ends in the sport. Remember, him and Rob Gronkowski were parallel at the same time they played. And it doesn't only go by stats. And I kill the baseball people with this because they just sound like idiots. Oh, war and OPS. God damn it, does the player pass the eye test? Guess what, folks? Kelsey passed the eye test. Was Luke Keechley better than Bobby Wagner? Hells no. And they both started their careers at the exact same time. 2012 draft. We all know why Keechley got all the love. We're not even gonna even get into it. Bobby Wagner gonna be 9-time All Pro. Enough said. Like I said about Bobby, he was the tight end that replaced Ray Lewis for this generation. After Ray retired in 2012, the mantle was passed to Bobby Wagner. When Ray won his Super Bowl in 2012, he got out of the game. Bobby Wagner took over the game. And that was one of the main reasons why young Jaden Daniels went to the NFC Championship. Boy, I haven't heard from this guy in a long time. Bargoff is with us. What's up, Bargoff?
What's up, Mace? Yeah, I didn't know the NFL Hall of Fame got announced, but I was just looking at the list.
Yeah, it came
Um,
out Thursday night.
Antonio, so Antonio Gates is he considered almost like the best, the greatest one?
Yeah,
He is.
yeah,
He was unstoppable on those teams, on those
sure
Chargers teams.
was. Sure was. I agree
I
with you.
remember him growing up. I remember him growing up. That team was completely loaded. I mean,
Yes, it was.
they just couldn't get over the hurdle. They just could not get
Exactly.
over the hurdle
Right.
whatsoever.
It wasn't his fault.
So Sterling Sharpe got in. I mean, his brother was campaigning for it for like years.
I didn't know that. Seriously, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like he's always said. He's always been on record saying he was better than him.
Yes,
Sterling Sharpe.
Sterling was better than Shannon. Not even close.
It was the injury, right? It was the injury and the
He broke
numbers
his
that.
neck
Yeah, he broke his neck.
at practice.
And then Ja.Allen, uh, He was good,
He
but
was
I don't know.
dominant, man. Jared
You
Allen was
think he's up
dominant.
there?
Yes, way
It's well
overdue.
deserved. Way overdue.
Yeah, those three guys, Sharp and the two Allens,
Yeah,
way overdue. And like I said, if you heard me bug off about 10 minutes ago, what did I say about the Eli Mannings, the Luke Kuechlys, that Antonio Gates was the only one regarded of those guys and that clown Alan Vinatieri, that he was clearly the superior player to those guys, and he was the only one to get in. What
yeah.
did I
It's just I feel like they probably held it against him, right, for a while, like
for which
just
guy?
not getting over the hump. Uh, Antonio Gates,
No, Antonio Gates got in first ballot.
first ballot, yeah, first ballot.
So what
That's
did I
well
say
deserved, I
about
think.
so what did I say what the committee thinks of Eli Manning, Luke Kuechly? What did I say about them?
Oh yeah, Antonio Gates is better. Yeah,
Also, look at next year's. And I didn't even put in Breeze. I said Larry Fitzgerald first ballot, Marquise Pouncey because he's a Steeler. The Hall of
yeah,
Fame are very biased with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's getting in.
yeah.
And Jason Witten, who is on par, by the way, with Antonio Gates. They played the exact same time.
Right.
Witten is getting in.
So I guess the other ones that were on this list that were really good were Terrell Suggs was good, but he just wasn't.
You know what?
He
I'm
wasn't.
gonna tell you the truth. They're holding it against him.
What that the Ravens?
He's had some issues off the field.
Oh, okay, like
They
that's
hold that against him.
yeah, because he was a big part of those Ravens teams.
He's awesome. His sizzle was ridiculous, man.
What off
Yeah.
the field issues did he have? Was it weed?
No, he had some issues with assault and battery, carrying a
That's
gun,
one.
and stuff like that.
Okay, so character.
They held it. Yeah, exactly. So they're holding it against him. He'll get in probably in 2 years. Matter of fact, I think we have to see who's going in there because none of us know. I didn't
Yeah,
even know these four guys. I'm not lying. I knew Gates was. I did not know that the three older greats were even on the ballot. I'm serious.
yeah. Now these two, I guess, like Torrey Holt and like Reggie Wayne.
Oh,
Uh,
Reggie Wayne showed his displeasure.
yeah, I think Reggie Wayne should have been. He should have been in by now, right? Like Reggie Wayne, or is it just the
Yeah,
numbers?
I do agree with that. Reggie Wayne, Torrey Holt, they should have been in.
Yeah.
But
The
right
other ones I can
now,
see, Fred Taylor. I mean, I can't. I mean,
I would
10 years.
love to see him in, though. He was a great back. What they hold against him was he was always broken down.
Yeah, he's doing well for himself with his new podcast. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. That's why.
eh,
That's why. By the way, that's why Sterling Sharp got in because of his brother's podcast.
yeah, f- that's
I
good.
forgot
That's
the name of
interesting.
it too.
Which one? The nightcap or
Yeah, Nightcap.
the
Yeah,
nightcap? Yeah, that one's interesting. I mean, him and Ocho just going at it like in the middle of
yeah.
the
I
night,
love
but
Ocho. By the
uh,
way, let me say this to you, and I said this to begin the platform tonight. If they start putting in old greats like these guys, Ocho Cinco is getting in.
yeah, he should be in. Like because
Oh,
every
I
week
love, I love them.
there were some that were just nightmares to play. I think T.O. definitely deserved to get in the way he did because he
T.O.
was just unstoppable.
T.O. should have been first ballot, but they held it against him
He had the
because
character issues,
it wasn't his
or
character. He was a selfish bastard. That's why a lot of people didn't want him in. He was a very
yeah,
selfish ball player. He was.
yeah, but on the field, like he was just.
That's what I'm talking about. On the field, he was a selfish ball player.
It was a big difference between To and like the rest of them. I think there was a good clip that I saw like recently. To versus like Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall gets tackled every time, but like To is just off to the races and getting touchdowns if he gets a
Brandon
reception.
Marshall, T.O.
They compare
Very
because they had a bit of
similar.
a feud. They had a bit of a feud going
Yeah,
on
very
for
well.
a
They were
while.
playing at the exact same time. Brandon Marshall, T.O. I would take T.O. But Brandon Marshall was a dog. I don't care what people say about him. Now we all know his personal issues. We all know I forgot the podcast he had, but he flipped out. If you ever saw that episode, they had Andre Johnson on, and
Yeah,
him and Ocho got into an argument about the NBA player, and this guy lost his mind, and that's when Fred Taylor, what's my man Channing Crowder, and Ryan Clark left that show and
yeah,
built
I
their
saw
own.
that. Yeah, I heard about that. I
Yeah.
think it was I Am Athlete. I think that was the one,
That
right?
was it. That was
That was
it.
the
Good
one.
job. That was it. I am
Yeah,
athlete.
but from what I heard, like I think they had no clue how it was gonna take off. They had no clue it was gonna take off, and they didn't like do the money
The
ahead of
show was
time.
a hit, but the guy was
Yeah,
crazy,
the guy was good.
and he had a grudge with Fred Taylor. I don't know what that was. He didn't like Fred Taylor.
I mean, I could see his side though, because they were like they didn't agree to the money in the first place. So then, what ended up happening was they had no idea it was gonna actually be a hit. The show. So then, uh, the one who put in all the money was Brandon Marshall. So in a way, like I
$10
have
million
sympathy for
dollars,
that.
he said,
Yeah, I
of
have
his own
sympathy for
money.
that. Like I mean, because all the production and all that costs a lot of money. So, um,
Yeah.
well, to them, it's like it's pretty easy for them to do. It's like it's like playground money
I
basically.
agree with Brandon Marshall, and I saw this say this out of his own mouth.
Yeah,
$10 million is $10 million
yeah,
that he's not going to get back,
right, right.
and that's his fault for running people off because of his psychotic ways. There was no reason for him, and I saw the episode, to totally ignore Andre Johnson
Right. What did you
and
make of Shannon
argue
Crowder, by the way? What did you make of Shannon Crowder?
mediocre player at best.
Mediocre player.
Yeah.
He's a Florida Gator.
I did
But
not see
he,
him in college, but as a Miami Dolphin, every
yeah.
Dolphin fan will tell you he was nothing special. Every Dolphin fan will tell
I guess he get his personality makes the show. That's the big part.
you. Don't get me wrong, he's a cool dude,
Yeah.
but as a player on the field, he made a lot of mistakes every week.
Okay. Gotcha.
He better be glad he got that radio show in Miami, and he got the I forgot the name of the show. You know the name of it.
The
You know,
pivot. I think
with
the pivot.
Ryan Clark. I forgot the name of it.
The pivot.
Yeah, the pivot. He better
Yeah,
be
the pivot.
glad he has that.
Yeah, some of those shows are like, but they have access to all that though. That's the thing. It's like production studios and all that. Um, uh,
Well, it,
and a
I,
lot of
I
it's also
think
they get like people who work in the NFL, so you become friends with like people who work in the NFL too. So
I,
it's hard to get
I
those contacts.
I think the show that had it, and then once they started bringing in celebs and rappers, they lost it. Was Up in Smoke.
Up in smoke. Okay.
That was the first ever podcast with two athletes. That was they still on now. That's Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson.
Oh, that one. Yeah, like
They had it,
that one.
but
They
once
did
they started
they
bringing rappers in, the show went downhill.
they I think they have a Showtime agreement though, right? So they have a
Yeah, they
Showtime
always
agreement.
did.
So that
But
was that's the big that's the big deal. That's a big
again,
deal with them.
when you got a gazillion NBA superstars that NBA fans want to hear from, and you're bringing in Lil Wayne, that turns a lot of basketball fans off.
Yeah,
It just does.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And now they have really fallen off since they brought Kamala Harris on their show and didn't ask her no tough questions.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I think there were people were always hesitant to like bring politicians on the show in general. The Trump one was a big hit at the time. I think that's when you knew like the election was kind of like done. But
Or Trump did
uh,
what show?
the Joe Rogan one, he did the Joe Rogan
Oh
one.
man,
So that
Joe Rogan's more uh
TV personalities.
mainstream. he gets the number one guys. He gets Tom Brady. He gets who else does he get? Gets Aaron Rodgers. He gets those people.
Yeah, he gets a bit of everybody, but
The pivot gets big people too because they got access. ESPN helps them because Ryan Clark is there. They know agents and players. Brandon
yeah,
Marshall, I don't know. I just think he lost his mind that day and people don't want to deal with it.
yeah. I mean, I can see that too. I mean, but he always said I think he did have. I think he was diagnosed with like borderline personality. So he
I
actually
mean,
had like he actually had like a psych. He was pretty vocal about his psych issues.
yeah, I mean, Marshall had it, man. I mean,
But it's like with those shows though, it's like usually because it's hard to start off with like a big following, right? It's hard to start off with like a big following. Unless with them, it's they have the visibility of being NFL, but they also um to have an account just they also have access to accounts that are like massive to begin with.
yeah, right.
So they just leverage that. Like so, every time I see like some of these podcasts, it's like that. Or they have a Spotify contract nowadays. That's another thing.
I also
You ever
think
tried? You ever tried like applying for some of those?
no. Well, I will.
Yeah,
I won't. I can go on Anchor anytime I want, but Spotify, I believe, is big time. Am I correct?
no, not really, because they have if you've been doing it for a while and you have like an audience, they work with you.
Okay.
So I mean, uh, yeah, it's like if you just have to go and apply and see what they say, and
I'll do that tonight.
yeah, it's like online because there's some that give you Spotify is one of them. There was another one, and then they give you money for a studio and stuff like that too. So
Oh,
you can
really?
see, yeah, they give you like grants and stuff. So it's just a matter of like applying and seeing where it goes.
Yeah, I'll do that because I got
Uh,
a Spotify
and because
account.
and because like a lot of the stuff that you do because you've had over like how many shows you can show them like
I
you could
got
show
over
them.
1,500 now.
Yeah, and then so you have over 1,500. So and then they can help you. They can help you with the marketing and stuff like that.
And I
So
got a lot of stories to tell about a lot of these athletes in all sports. Like I just told the story to this audience about these four guys. Well, more
yeah,
of the three guys who people, these millennials, have never seen play football before.
yeah, that's the big thing right now because a lot of the younger crowds they live off this stuff now. They live off the internet now, basically.
I
So
think the young crowd live for the now. They don't
yeah,
care about
uh,
history, in my opinion.
no, they do. They're not like some of them. They just some of them are. Some of them don't. Some of them like don't like look at the history and stuff like that. But it just depends. There's a lot of them that they put everything on. The one thing about the younger generation, they put everything on social media, which I don't get. Uh, I wasn't raised like that completely. But nowadays, like everything, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, like how personal some of them get online. It could be like just how they're raised about mental health and stuff like that too. Mental health's a bigger thing with them too. So
No, I can talk about that.
no, it's interesting. Yeah, like podcast shows are there's people if they that have that option. And then they just publish an episode on publishing on Spotify. It's good for a lot of things too, so worth checking out.
Really?
And you have a fan base already. You also have you don't have like a one weekly podcast, but like you could talk about the NFL for for hours. So it just depends on I guess it depends on shows versus podcasts. You just have to balance the two.
Wow, I didn't know that. I
Is there a
appreciate
reason
it.
like Stephen A? It's probably that's probably why Stephen A is like doing politics and everything with his thing.
Oh, Stephen A. Smith?
Yeah,
I don't know. Oh, because he thinks he can get canned by ESPN at any time.
so that's why he got his own platform.
Yeah.
But then, he also does politics now on his own show, which is kind of like
Yeah,
interesting.
because he's trying to, what do you call that?
Expand audiences,
He's trying to cross over. That's a good way.
crossover.
Yeah, he's trying to do some crossovers. Stephen A.
Yeah, I
Will it
mean,
work? I don't know.
the angle he's going for right now is I think he's talking about how he voted for Kamala and how he now he's like talking everything about like not I think he's kind of like doing the other side, which is he's trying to say what went wrong with he's talking about everything that went wrong on the Democrat side. I wonder if he actually wants to make a run. People were wondering if he actually wants to make a run in politics, but enough of that though.
I don't know. To be
What do you
honest with
make
you.
of? Is there
Yeah, go
who
ahead.
else is left? Who else is left that's for the Hall of Fame? Like, is there any big names like next year coming up?
I just gave it to you. Larry Fitzgerald, Marquise Pouncey, and Jason Witten. They're all getting in.
Jason Witten.
Why? Pittsburgh always get privilege. Dallas,
Yeah,
Witten, very likable in the media. Everybody loved him in Dallas. Some people call him Mr. Cowboy now. And Larry Fitzgerald, by media standards, remember, Larry Fitzgerald played at the exact same time as
yeah,
Reggie Wayne, T.O., Ultra Cinco, what's his face? Who else was with T.O.? Moss. They were played at the same time. A lot of people
you,
consider him the best. I think part of it is because people didn't
yeah. I
like
see.
the other guys.
I see Fitzgerald. Witten will get in. Do you
Marquise
think
Pouncey is definitely getting in.
Drew Brees gets in?
That's going to be questionable because a lot of people who are angry about Eli not getting in, they're going to
Okay,
be
right.
pissed off that you're going to put Drew Brees over him. That Drew Brees was the much better player. I don't
Yeah.
give a damn what Giant fans say. Drew Brees was clearly the
Yeah. I
better
mean,
player.
his yeah. Every year he was up there in passing yards. Um, Philip Rivers is another one that could be interesting.
He's on the list next year, but I love Philip, but he's not getting in for a while.
He's not getting in.
He won't get in before Roethlisberger and Eli. I say Eli, the class of 2027, he gets in.
He has some good. These are some good names though. These are. You're right, but there has to be like a cutoff line, right? It's just the way the NFL Hall of Fame should work. There
Yeah,
should be a cutoff line.
it should be, but you know how the league works. You know, they work like that. I think it's crazy, but hey, that's the way they work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Who do you got tomorrow winning? You think
Telling you, I picked them back in April. I'm not getting off of it. Philadelphia.
Philadelphia?
And remember, it's a revenge game for Philadelphia.
Yeah,
They
I
were
can see
robbed
that.
2 years ago. We all know the referee shouldn't have threw that flag on third down.
It'll be nice to have a good performance out of Saquon in the
I
Super
think
Bowl.
Saquon's have a monster game.
Yeah, that's good. Nah, that's pretty much it, mate. So I was just coming up here just
I
chat about it.
appreciate that, man. Thank you. Good to see you. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, no, I try not to be. I've just been busy.
I know
I've
you've
had
been
a lot
working
of.
hard. That's why I know you've been working hard.
Yeah, that's pretty much the reason. It's
Everything's
just
good.
been. Yeah, no, it's. I mean, things get. It's just a lot of work. It's just a lot of work that had to be put in. So you pretty much go missing, and then try to get it all done, and then you don't really have time. You don't have time. Yeah, I don't. Every once in a while, I check in. I'm like, hey, Mace is on, and I come here in the chat. But um,
I always invite you up.
in the because it's the Super Bowl weekend, I had a little bit more free time this time, so that's the only thing. I
I
love
feel
being
you,
here
man.
though. I love being here. I love being here. It's not like I don't like. I love coming on, chatting football,
Well, I look
chatting
at all you guys
basketball.
as my family. I really do. You
Yeah,
guys
how's
ride
the
with me, man.
how's your health, Mace? Is it
Great,
been good? Great.
great.
That's
I
good to
just
hear.
lost
That's
70 pounds, man.
70 pounds.
Yeah, at this time last year I was 259. Now I'm 188.
Wow, that's massive, man.
Eating right and doing a lot of walking.
A lot of walking. Yeah, like walking helps a lot.
I walk 2.5 miles a day when I'm healthy. I'm healthy again. We've been having bad weather here in the Northeast. Hopefully by Monday I'll get Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday I'll get a walk in because Thursday is going to be a big snowstorm.
Snowstorm. Okay, is that the third one this year? About the third one.
For us,
Yeah.
yeah, but we don't get hit that hard. As crazy as it
Okay.
may sound, I know it sounds crazy to you, but
Well, it
we
depends
don't get hit.
because you're not directly by the lake, kind of thing. That's why.
Not even near the water. Exactly.
Yeah, because I think the lake because there's parts of New York that are really rough.
Yeah, you're right.
I forgot the name of
You're
those.
right.
City with massive snow. All right, Mace, I gotta go, but I'll
Good
check in every
talking to
once in
you,
a while.
man. Don't be a
Are you gonna
stranger.
Are you gonna be here tomorrow? You
Yeah,
gonna be on tomorrow?
4:30. I'll be here.
4:30.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll
For
pop
the
in.
pregame.
I'll pop in.
If the game is great, I'll come back on right after the game.
Yeah, for sure, Mace. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Have a good night. Thanks for coming. Ball golf. Ken Deddy, one of my favorite people. Great to hear from him. Like I tell you guys, don't be a stranger. Just pull up, chill. All we do is talk sports, man. That's the way it's supposed to be. None of these crazy idiosyncrasies that some of these people have. I'm gonna give you an hour and then I'm out of here. And I'll see you all tomorrow 4:30 for the big game. We'll talk about tomorrow's game tomorrow. Let me talk about this first before I leave. I see my boy Josh Jacobs has been running his mouth about getting guys to Green Bay, and a lot of the Packer players, young players, don't like it. And I'm just gonna say this, okay? I'm just gonna say this. Sometimes things are better left alone. Now you know me, I killed Love. Love was not happy about it, but he's been campaigning about bringing guys to Green Bay. Green Bay is one of the most fascinating franchises. They are the NFL, by the way. And right now, it's either Super Bowl or Boston Lambeau. Do I think it's fair? No. But something has to give. And it's time to win big in Green Bay. Rodgers did it one year. After that, a whole generation of fans didn't see him win anything in Green Bay. They ran him out. This is how the cookie crumbles. Now, all the love they had last year in that city is now gone. Um, Jaden Reed said the other day that they love you when you're winning, and then you see their true colors. He's right about that. He's right about that. And I tried telling you people, Green Bay, because it's little Green Bay, the media doesn't like Green Bay. Right? It's in a tiny town. It's the smallest market in sports. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Okay, and it is what it is. You know. Now they're having problems in Green Bay. It looks like the leadership has been taken over by Josh Jacobs, and teammates are looking at Jordan Love sideways. Now, Jordan Love was on ESPN yesterday. I did not watch the interview. You know me, I don't really care right now about football, but these type of stories I do. And if there is pressure on any court, we have passed Josh.Allen. He's never going to beat Mahomes. Lamar, this is his last shot. I will talk about Lamar Jackson tomorrow getting robbed by uh, the white boy Josh.Allen. And remember, I am not a Josh.Allen critic. Okay, I'm not one of those who think that Josh.Allen is overrated, which a lot of people do, but I don't. I think Josh.Allen is damn good at what he does, but he hasn't gotten over that hump. And you don't get over that hump, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. I'm trying to find the game tonight so I can watch Toronto.
Come on, you gonna check on that meat? Huh?
Now you know damn well, Iman, that your boy was a comedy of errors. Come on now, cut that out. Cut that out. That man, Eli Manning, was a complete buffoon, folks. You only saw him. I forgot who said it, and they said that he only threw passes in his whole life. I don't agree with that because Eli was great when he made the playoffs, folks. He was money, and he won all of his games on the road, which is even more impressive. But you gotta look at the whole picture. Philip Rivers, to me, is better than Eli. Not even to me, Philip Rivers is the best of the three in that draft class of 2004. It's not even close. But Philip and Ben got four rings combined, and Philip never saw the Super Bowl. That's why Philip is not getting in next year. And it's going to be a while. They'll have to put Roethlisberger and Eli before him. That's fair. Mr. Miami's in the building. What's up, 305? Love you too, man. Iman knows. Iman's not going to say it so don't make you wrong. He knows what I'm talking about. He watched them every. He watched them every. 305 in the building. Let me get my man up here if he wants to come up. I'm gonna be at. By the way, I'm not gonna be up here much longer, fellas, and I'll be up here tomorrow 4:30. 305. When Moss gets there, go to Moss. I'm gonna be at Moss's after I finish cooking and eating my dinner. I'm cooking ribs tonight. Eli Manning is a legend killer. RKO combo. chilling. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Moss after I finish cooking dinner and eating my dinner. So I'll be over there. Moss is gonna set it up. I'll be over there about probably like around 7:30. So I'll be there. So I'm gonna end this stream. 305. I'll see you in a little while on Moss's channel. I'm gonna be up there, and I'm gonna watch hockey tonight. Yeah, tonight. I'm gonna be over there after I eat dinner. Yeah, me and Moss already communicated. That's why you should get Instagram. 305. So, Vancouver and Toronto about to start. I'll be at Moss's. Calgary is your late game. Okay, your early games. Canadians lost again today, so the magic touch at 305 looks like it's running out. So I want to thank all you guys for coming in. And tomorrow I'll give you another show, a better show. And I'll be on at 4:30. And I'm going to kill ESPN. I'm going to kill Eli Manning. I'm going to kill Luke Kuechly all tomorrow. 305, I love you. I'll see you later, family. You'll be watching hockey tonight. And soon I'll see you all in about 90 minutes up in Boston. I love you all. No thanks on Instagram. Take care, everybody. Thanks for coming. Matter of fact, let me give you a couple more minutes. Let me show ESPN real quick. Fine. Let me show ESPN for Christ's sake. Oh, they didn't make it. Oh, we didn't make it. So what? They didn't make it. They're not as big as Antonio Gates. The Hall of Fame committee told you that. Stephen A. Smith, all of them whining yesterday. Get the hell out of here. Luke Kuechly, concussion waiting to happen. He wasn't in Bobby Wagner's world between the clock for all their games. And the only time Luke Kuechly beat him was 2015. And he won Defensive Player of the Year. Cam Newton won MVP. After that, that franchise went into shit. All you see Cam Newton doing now is one of those stupid ass hats selling out to ESPN. Luke Kuechly always snuggling with the gorgeous kid. I don't want to hear from you. Your boy blows. That's the bottom line. We'll touch on this more tomorrow. I love you guys. Good night from the Oasis, everybody. I'll be at Boston today. In about 90 minutes, I'll be up in Boston. Love you.